Hey, what's up, guys? Riff here. So today we're going to be looking at more tourists causing issues overseas in the pursuit of streaming for content. Now we're going to be looking at two different streamers causing issues. We're going to give an update on the Vitaly situation and some very satisfying news involving him. But first, we're going to begin with another streamer who's not your typical nuisance streamer like Johnny Somali. It's someone completely different, and it's Mizkif, of all people, who is someone who's not only a large content creator, but someone who's spent the last couple of months in Japan making a lot of content based on that, and someone who's also called out kick streamers for misbehaving in places like Japan. Now, he's facing a lot of controversy right now because of a recent clip going around on the internet. You can see the caption here: Mizkif is catching heat in Japan from popular content creators like Kaho Shibuya for doing pull-ups in gymnastic tricks on a cherry blossom tree. Now, here is the clip. You can see Mizkif and the people he's with doing chin-ups and gymnastic routines on cherry blossom trees. Now, I don't think you have to be like a seasoned veteran over at Japan to understand this is wrong. Like, this is like a day one thing. I don't think you should be doing this stuff on a cherry blossom tree. I think a day one tourist knows this is probably a disrespectful move to make. And a lot of people say, well, it's just a tree, Rev. What's the big deal? We'll explain why it's so culturally significant and why this is so disrespectful. But let's look at some of the posts that are calling this out. You can see the person in question here is a content creator by the name of Shibuya Kaho. So you can see this is her tweet that was pointed out earlier saying, I saw a video of content creators I've met before doing pull-ups and gymnastic tricks on a sakura tree's branches, inevitably shaking cherry blossom petals off. It just broke my heart to see someone I actually know doing such things in Japan. It's always been unknown people on social media. Fortunately, the post was gone the next day, so they probably regretted and deleted it. But please, if you ever want to flex your muscles to show how much testosterone you got, go touch your own wood. Amazing. Leave ephemeral cherry blossoms with flowers living for only 2 weeks alone. And that is the point. So every person defending Mizkif in this situation, they ignore stuff like this. They ignore the cultural significance of these trees and the petals that are blooming. And it might just be a tree to you, but when you're overseas, you need to respect the culture. It's amazing that this has become a very hot take to make on social media. If you're going to travel somewhere, you have to respect the culture. It might just be a tree to you, but just like many other things, that tree has more cultural significance than you may realize. And here's an example of that. So even on this official guide to Japan, it's mentioned here, sacred cherry blossom trees in Japan. When you travel throughout Japan, you may hear of sacred trees, which often appear in Shinto and Buddhist folk tales. Spirits are said to inhabit kodama, old or beautiful trees. Hundreds of these trees exist in Japan, and you can tell them apart from regular trees by the shimenawa, large twisted ropes that encircle these sacred trees. The people believe misfortune will come to anyone who mistreats or cuts down these sacred trees. Several of these sacred trees are cherry blossom trees. That's what we're talking about with the clip that we looked at just a few moments ago. So again, it might just be a tree to you, but it has clearly a lot of cultural significance in Japan. And if you're going to be a tourist there, you should respect their culture. It's not exactly a big ask if you're asking me. But of course, here's some further comments from Shibuya.
I just like they should be aware. But some tourists and especially live streamers have been getting a lot of bad attention, mainly because of kick streamers. But then, you cannot really talk shit about kick streamers anymore after behaving like that. It's just very disappointing.
Yeah, obviously, Johnny Somali versus Mizkif, it's not exactly the same, all right? All these kick streamers, whether from like the CX crew or all that stuff, clearly they're a lot worse than Mizkif. But with Mizkif's case, he's called out these kick streamers before for their behavior in places like Japan, and I feel like he loses a lot of credibility when he goes out and does stuff like this himself. And a lot of people in the replies to the original thread we are looking at here, they're pointing out a very obvious downside of what Mizkif is doing here. where it makes a lot of tourists, and in particular Americans, look bad by association. It's no secret at this point that people in places like Japan are already very on edge when it comes to tourists because of people like those on Kick, nuisance streamers, etc. Okay, so now you have people like Mizkif under a bigger microscope, and it just makes people look bad by association. Americans and tourists right now have a very bad reputation in Japan thanks to a lot of different people, and it just, again, makes it bad for the people who just want to go visit Japan and respect the culture and not go out and do these ridiculous things. And again, with Mizkif in particular, he's been in Japan long enough. He should know that doing all that stuff with the cherry blossom tree was in very bad taste and was disrespectful. Again, just a tree to some, but clearly not in Japan. It has a lot more significance than just being a tree. But now we're going to do the other half of this video, which is an update on the Vitaly situation. So this is a streamer now going around in the Philippines, wreaking havoc over the past couple of weeks with the sole purpose of harassing people and even threatening people for content. The fall off of Vitaly has been quite a crazy one. Back about a decade ago, he was one of the biggest YouTubers in the world with his prank videos going viral every 2 seconds. But now he's resorted to streaming on Kick. You can see stream titles like Vitaly disturbing the peace in the Philippines. You can see a little screenshot of my hair right there, because this is a screenshot for reasons you'll understand in just a second. You can see this is an example of one of the clips of Vitaly. You can watch my previous video if you want a longer set of examples, but I'll just play a few seconds to give you a sense of what this guy's all about during his time in the Philippines.
Excuse me, madam,
Sorry.
I'm gonna fucking rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay.
No.
Okay, because you got a COVID mask, you liberal fuck. Yeah.
Annoying police, literally assaulting them, stealing from them, just being a general nuisance in every sense of the word. Now, the update from that situation since the last time we called or talked about this in a video, he has been banned on Kick, which is a hell of an achievement. It's actually hard to get banned on Kick. I mean, you literally have to get arrested or commit crimes in order to have like a 50-50 chance of getting banned off the platform. It's like getting kicked out of Weenie Hut Juniors for being too much of a weenie. Like, it's that hard to get banned on Kick. But also, as we mentioned, he was arrested and the official mugshot has gone out. Here he is mean mugging in front of the lineup there. And also we have some footage from Legal Mindset here showing the actual arrest. Here you can see Vitaly's arrest footage for criminal activity in Manila. Very impressed at the speed at which this was handled, which will absolutely be a deterrent to other Kick nuisance streamers thinking of coming to the Philippines. Which, yeah, definitely admire the response on this and how quick they were able to handle Vitaly once he was getting some national and international outrage over his streams. I mean, really, within a day or two of these reports coming out, these stories, these videos covering his activities in the Philippines, he was then arrested. A very swift response and something that should be the norm in all of these situations. And also want to give one more update on this individual right here, who in our last video, we played this clip right here, where he confronted Vitaly and basically said, what you're doing here is wrong. You're causing harm. You're causing a bad name for all tourists and people trying to enter the Philippines. And basically, you're pathetic, and all of your viewers who are supporting this, you need to do better and find someone else to enjoy for content. Well, he's given an update. Apparently, he has a YouTube channel here, Unlock Philippines, and he explains why he confronted Vitaly in the Philippines.
When you approach a person like that, they're completely unpredictable. And this guy is all over the place. But some of the things that he said in person, such as, I do whatever the F I want, and I've donated $20,000, it just shows you where the mind of a content creator who's walking down that very dark path is at. And trying to explain sense into him was basically impossible. However, the minute he pointed his camera in my face, I realized that I could spread a message that would reach way more people than just this peanut walking around here in the Philippines. If you're actually considering coming and visiting this country, it doesn't take long to get used to your surroundings, and it's no time at all until you'll be making friends out on the street. Either other foreigners are super friendly here as well, or the locals.
And that's the funny thing too. Even Vitaly admitted, as he was doing all these various acts of nuisance streaming, even he admitted the people in the Philippines that he was encountering were very kind, which is ironic because he's taking advantage of that fact. And yeah, it doesn't take much to basically assimilate really anywhere like this. Just be a respectful person and you'll get along just fine. But overall, yeah, we appreciate people like this going out there and confronting Vitaly, who's now facing some pretty significant consequences. And I think nobody feels sorry for him given the way he has conducted himself during his stay in the Philippines, which might be extended thanks to a potential jail sentence here. But anyways, that's going to do for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.